Hi guys!
How's it going?
What's up, what's up? The Lupos are in the house. Do you want to tag Lisa Lupo? I think we already tagged me. So, what's up you guys? We're going to give a couple minutes for people to hop on. We have been gone from Facebook Live for a little while now. What, a year?
Or so.
Probably a year. We were doing these regularly. We were bringing you guys like fitness stuff and some mindset stuff.
Exercise videos.
Hey Daniel, exercise videos. What's up, Jamie? What's up, girl?
What's up?
And you know, we're here today to talk about transformation. You guys have heard us talk about this before. Chris wrote a book about his transformation. But Chris woke up today, and I'm kind of taking a hiatus from Facebook for a while, but he woke up today with this like inspiration of wanting to share this message he had this morning and recruited me to join him. So here we are. Do you want to start off with?
Well, I want to first give some gratitude to Carrie Northington for introducing us to Reggie McKiver. I've been working with Reggie for the past couple of weeks, and he's had a profound effect on kind of getting me back in touch with my purpose and what I started out doing 2 years ago after my transformation. So I want to give gratitude to those guys because they've been tremendous in kind of getting me, really kind of waking me up, because I kind of fell back with my back injury. That kind of took us out. It more or less took our whole summer out. We had no summer. We didn't really do a whole lot. We spent 4 weeks or so plus going up to chiropractor and where the hell
Phoenix.
Is it? Phoenix and
just
so it more or less took us out. And the good thing was this time I didn't let it derail me. I recognized where it could have gone from past experiences, so I learned from those things, which is part of transformation. And I'll get to transformation, what really a transformation should be, if it's something that you want to last, and we'll get into that.
Do you want to share? So we have some new people on here that probably don't know the story and what happened. And so do you want to kind of recap, like a mini recap of 2014? We had a really challenging year. And what you kind of spiraled out a little bit with, well, we both kind of did, but Chris went through. Basically,
we've had some fertility issues for a long time. And Lisa had a couple procedures done. They didn't work. We went to several specialists. I ended up getting put on several high potency fertility medications, which really messed me up to an extent. I think it had a lot to do with my blood clot, although that could have been very much stress related.
But prior to that, you had the knee surgery, right, and our dog passed
away. Before that, we had a bunch of stuff happen, and so I got derailed. I was in the worst shape of my life. Probably not the worst shape actually, but pretty bad for myself. I felt worse than I looked. I looked worse in 2004 during my previous marriage. However, I felt a lot worse at this point because I was in a lot of physical pain because of my knee surgery, my total knee replacement, and our dog Bear got sick. And it was not just he got sick and he went. It was probably a 6-month process from December to June before we had to put him down, unfortunately, where we basically tended for him around the clock. We measured his blood sugar around the clock for 3 months or so. That more or less took me out because when I got my knee replacement, I was looking forward to being able to go out and run more with him and being able to go out and be more active with him, because he never wanted to leave playing. Anytime we go to the park or wherever it was, he never wanted to leave. He'd always stay out in the middle of the field. And I always remembered that, and it always killed me that I couldn't, because being on my feet was painful. And so that whole incident really kind of took me out.
So it kind of spiraled out with, the knee surgery, not being able to train how he wanted to train. Nutrition kind of fell a little bit because he just got in that mindset of not feeling his best, and ended up seeing a photo of himself at a competition that I was doing, and he was out of shape. He didn't realize he was so out of shape, and saw that photo, and that photo just kind of woke him up. Yeah. So 2015 was the year of this incredible transformation that he had, that really started with seeing that photo, but then me getting him signed up for the IsoBody Challenge and into a personal development program that our company offers, Isogenics. And that was kind of the start of this whole transformation. And what I think you realized, and he ended up writing a book about it, was
it's
that
on the New York Times bestseller list.
it's,
No, it's not.
it's an
It
ebook
will be
on
when I
Amazon.
rewrite it.
Yeah, he's gonna rewrite it, but what he ended up learning from that whole experience and writing his book and the transformation that he had was that his mindset was the underlying piece that he needed to get him moving in the right direction. So we went on this entire journey of like, oh my gosh, people need to understand that this isn't about just physical fitness and your body or nutrition. This is about your mindset. So what did we do? We started learning, we started studying, we started doing all these different things. You guys saw some of our Facebook lives. And then what happened? Like, life happens, right? And we fell out of practice. And we had some things happen since we moved. And we kind of reverted back to some old habits and some,
Well, more than that, it wasn't really that. I stopped working on myself. I started trying to do whatever I could to grow my personal training business, so I thought, or grow my online business, so I thought. But more than anything, I stopped doing the work on myself. So let me start into the whole transformation thing. A transformation, the ones where you see, the before and after shots, what everybody thinks that is just, dialing in your food, dialing in your macros, getting on the right nutrition program, and doing all that stuff. That is absolutely 100% part of it. Not 100%, but it's part of it. But the missing link, so I found in my own experience, is your mindset. And so what I've realized is transformations are not a destination, okay? Transformations are a journey. And along that journey, you're gonna have ups and downs, highs and lows, just like it's life, okay? It's life with the intention of improving something. You're trying to transform something. Typically, people think you're transforming your body. However, if you do not transform your mind, your mindset, and your habits, then it's only going to get you so far. I've seen and experienced my own self where you get to a certain level, it's like, okay, you've arrived. Now what? What happens next? A lot of times people get there and that's it. They resort back to old habits. They gain 50 to 100 pounds back or whatever it is. They digress. And so what happens is a transformation is a perpetual process. It's not something personal development is not something that you graduate from. You don't get a certificate or a t-shirt that says personal development, PhD, whatever it is, personal development finisher. You don't get that. I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that.
Well, so, we didn't think we graduated, but we definitely got out of the practice
well, that's
of
the thing.
that.
Look, if you get up every day and you brush your teeth, you get up every day, you take a shower, hopefully, it's got to be the same exact process. Yep. You can't let it go for too long. And, I've gotten off when we had the back injury most recently.
This summer.
I was thinking about what the heck can I do to not have the pain that I'm experiencing right now, because the pain that I was experiencing, which I've learned, is a lot of times self-inflicted based on what you're carrying from the past, whether it's anger, resentment, hostility, frustration, whatever's happened to you, pain from past experiences with other people or things in your life, you carry that stuff and it manifests into physical pain. That's what I've learned, and that's one thing Reggie McKiver has taught me. And like I said, he's had a profound effect on where we're going right now.
And we'll tag him in this below later.
For sure. But, so you have to always be conscious of yourself and understand that a lot of times when you're not doing the right thing or when you're off track, that your ego is basically running the show, not your spirit, not you, not your soul. So, and not to get into too much spirituality talk or whatever, but
it's important.
It's important because your ego will run the show. I mean, I'm learning to recognize when that happens for me. It's a process. I'm not a master at it, but just being conscious of it is half the battle, or at least part of it. So.
When we talked about earlier, we were talking about, just to give an analogy, because I kind of like analogies. I'm a visual person, and when I can kind of explain something in a way where my brain can really wrap around what it looks like. Hey, Kayla, what's up, girl? is imagine like a rutted out road, right? Like, and I imagine just like somewhere in Montana, right, in the middle of the woods, a rutted out road. And we've all been on a road like that, right? Where you're in the rut, right? Your tires are going in that rut, and your car, it just goes pretty easily. I mean, it's bumpy, but it goes pretty easily because it's in those tracks, right? Well, that's your subconscious mind. If you can imagine, your subconscious mind is just keeping you where you know.
Subconscious mind is your habits, your beliefs, really, which is, run by your ego to an extent. Your ego's job is to protect you from pain, fear, all these other things that you've experienced in the past.
Expanding your comfort zone.
Right. It keeps you from doing that. Sorry. Anyway.
So anyway, when you're driving in that rut, it's familiar. You know it. Your car knows how to stay within those little grooves, and you keep going in those grooves. Well, that's your subconscious mind trying to keep you in line with what it knows, what it's familiar with, what it's comfortable with.
What's safe.
As soon as, and you guys know this from experience, as soon as you try to veer out of that rut and try to get your tires off the rut, you're going to experience massive turbulence. You're going to experience your car wanting to veer back the other way, back into the rut, right? So that's exactly what's happening in our minds. As soon as we go to grow, as soon as we go to do something different or change our beliefs or elevate our lives or change our nutrition or start a workout program or whatever it is, start meditations or start anything, you have things coming at you, right? You feel like resistance, like, why is this happening? Why is this person mad at me? Why am I affected by the traffic? Why does it seem like all these things are coming at me? It's the fight between your subconscious mind trying to keep you in that rut and your spirit, knowing that there's something more for you out there. And you have to you have to make new grooves in the road. You have to create new grooves in the road that aren't that same old rut, that same old path. And that's a lot what we've been working on recently, and what Chris has been working really, really closely with Reggie. I've been watching this incredible work unfolding before my eyes through Chris, and I'm learning a lot of this stuff and just reapplying it, some of the stuff we'd learned before, and really, I think it's more eye-opening for us now because we're looking at it through a different lens maybe even than we did 2 years ago. And we're seeing things, we're hearing messages that we've heard before, but they're landing differently. And that's why this is so important that we keep talking about this, that we keep talking about mindset, we keep talking about growth, because somewhere in your journey, in our journey, in everybody's journey, someone's going to say something and it's going to land on you in that moment the way it's meant to, and it's going to cause change. If
you're ready to receive it.
In your timing.
That's the key thing.
Everybody's in different timing.
Right.
We could have heard from Reggie 2 years ago and maybe not had as profound an effect because we weren't ready. Right. We weren't open to receiving. Yep. So why are we here? I mean, what's the outcome for this is really, you guys, we've never claimed to be like gurus or know-it-alls or anything like that. We are incredibly passionate about this.
We're a work in progress.
We're watching it work in our own lives. And we're seeing that, hey, we have music in us, and this is something that Wayne Dyer talks about. Don't die with your music still inside of you. And we have music in us, and it is passion, and it is this topic. It is all around, how do we live our best life? How do we get out of the ruts? How do we get out of these limiting beliefs and these blocks that are blocking us from becoming our best selves? This is the work that we do, that we need to do. So it's really about hoping to inspire you, really. And guide you, and go find Reggie. We'll tag him below. And Kayla, the mind is so powerful. It's way more than working with a personal trainer. It's way more than
personal training is part of it, and nutrition again is part of it. All that is obviously part of it. But if you don't have the right mindset and you're not conscious of the journey, then you're going to reach a destination, and you're only going to get so far. And I speak from personal experience, and I've seen it with a lot of people in Isogenics who've had unbelievable transformations physically and possibly, spiritually or mentally or emotionally along the way. Again, the problem is when you get there, now what? What do you do? So a lot of times that's when people resort back to old habits because they don't continue the mindset work that got them there. And what happens is they go back to who they were before that got them in the position that they were in before the transformation. So it has got to happen continuously. It has got to be a perpetual process you don't graduate from personal development. You don't graduate from working on yourself. When you do, just, mark my words, unfortunately, things go back. They just always will.
Yeah, Kayla mentioned deception and
Totally.
Realizing that you're going through deception. A lot of this is a recognition, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One of the things I want to interject real quick is when I had my transformation recently, from 283 to 251, I was a 100% stressed achiever, okay? And what that means is I was determined to change and be the example of fitness that I was supposed to be, because it was embarrassing for me to see that picture, my before picture, all of them. And so, what was I saying about that? I lost my thought.
You were a stressed achiever.
Oh, yeah, so you got a low battery, but you don't know that. So being a stressed achiever, I was working, I was doing 40 client hours a week, personal training. It was a stressful environment. I don't want to get into that, but it was a very stressful environment. I probably didn't react to everything as well as I should have, but I was a stress achiever and I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. And then 2 months later, I had a blood clot. I was in the hospital, and that's when we almost didn't get to Arizona, which is what we had planned doing when we started this mindset work.
Because of this hiccup, yeah.
But I was determined to get through that and get here, and we've gotten here. But again, you can't just arrive without continuing to work on yourself. You have got to continue that development and look inside.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say something about that. Oh, the whole blood clot thing that happened with him was ironic because, and this is a perfect example of it's not about a physical transformation, what your body looks like. He looked like he could have stepped on stage. I mean, he was in his best shape ever. I mean, people were asking him, "Are you gonna compete?" And hey, James.
Hey, James.
And he had a blood clot, right? And we won't go into the details of what caused it and whatever. I can guarantee you, and we both have recognized that he was under an enormous amount of stress. So whether he looked like a freaking gladiator, which he pretty much did, or not, didn't matter. What was going on inside, and he was eating incredibly well. He was training a crazy, awesome training program.
Probably 6 or 7 days a week.
And but work, he was working
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
I worked on Sundays. I didn't take really a whole lot of days off. I was focused on.
So it's not always about the appearance, and that's why it's so important to look at that
what
transformation.
What it looks like versus what it really is.
Or what it feels like.
Yes, it's
what
different.
It looks like versus what it feels like on the inside, right?
Yep.
So going back to, self-care, right? So self-care isn't just working out and eating, right? Self-care is meditation. It's prayer if that's what you do. It's downtime. It's recognizing that you need relaxation, that you can't grind.
It's
you can't
looking
hustle.
inside at yourself and seeing how you can improve and how you show up.
Mm-hmm. And we were so focused on, we got to generate income, we're doing really well financially. We were doing really well financially, but he was exhausted and he was burning himself out. So we're burning the candle at both ends. We can't enjoy the financial success we're having because he has no time off. Meanwhile, he looks great, but on the other side of it, things aren't working out.
So one of the things, with transformations and as far as the mindset, there's a couple of things to consider. First and foremost, what is the driving force behind your transformation? Why do you want to have a transformation? It has to be very strong that it pulls you. Now, there's different reasons people want to have a transformation, but if it's only physical, you're only going to get so far. It has to be deeper than that. Okay, so you have to look inside and say, what is this going to do to improve my life? How is it going to help my family? Or you show up as a better mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, whatever. Those things you have to consider. Then, why are you in the place that you're in? You have to look in. You have to take responsibility for why you're in the position you're in. It's not always due to other people. Now, it might look like that, it might feel like that, but everybody makes decisions, and we've learned that where you are is exactly right, based on your previous thoughts, actions, words, and whatever. So,
taking ownership for where you are, because when you blame other people, you have no ability to make a change or a shift because it's their fault. But when you take ownership, now you have the opportunity to shift and grow and change and change from that place that you're in, because you've owned that I got myself here. And the other thing I want to add to where are you now is, like Chris said, this isn't just about the body, the physical, what you look like, because there are people out there I know that are not suffering with being overweight. They're not suffering with a physical body image issue, but they're hitting walls in their business. They're hitting walls in their relationship. They're not communicating well. They're not happy in one or more area of their life.
So transformation has to be it has to be holistic in a sense. Holistic in a sense that it covers all the components of holistic health and wellness. It's not physical, just that. It's not just financial. It's not just your occupation or whatever. It's all everything. Encompassing. It has to encompass everything.
Yep. So you can have a transformation and have it be more just internal and looking at your life, not necessarily physical body transformation, although that's probably going to happen as well.
That's what people are going to see the most, typically, because pictures are worth 1,000 words.
Why are you here? So why are you where you are and taking ownership for that? Where do you want to be?
Where are your goals? I mean, that's the one thing when Lisa got me into this, she asked me, what are your goals? At the time, I didn't have any goals. I was depressed. I was out of shape. I was in pain. I was really kind of down in the dumps over my dog and what he went through and seeing all that. And it just kind of more or less took me out. So I wasn't thinking about goals. I didn't know what the hell a goal was at the time.
So my goals go to work.
I've had goals before, to graduate college, to get my CSCS from NSCA, to get my real estate license in California. Those were all goals I met, and I didn't have any goals at the time. And those are all, again, what you accomplish in your life is not you. Should not be who you are. That's not who you are. Those are just accomplishments. It's part of who you are, but it's not who you are. All right? It's much deeper than that. Deep shit.
Yeah. Where do you want to be? Why do you want to be there? So again, that's goals. And all of this work that we started doing a couple years back it led us to meditation, to I am statements, to vision boards, and all of those things are great, but none of them work individually on their own.
The other thing is, as far as weight loss and people and overweight, I know this again from my own experience. Anytime I've been out of shape, where I've been overweight, I'm carrying weight from the past, whether it's emotions, fear, anger, resentment, hostility, frustration, whatever it is, from past relationships, from past experiences. You take on all that stuff, all that weight, and it manifests in terms of physical body weight. And that's something that Reggie taught me. And I know that's 100% true, 100% true. And so knowing that, ironically, with this past, when I had my back issue this summer, the first thing I said to myself, I was about 249 or 250 something, and I said, I can't get to where I was because I could very easily gain 30 pounds in a month if I don't watch what I eat. So I've already been tracking my food. I was about 38 to 4,200 calories a day. And so I took a look and I said, I'm not working out at all. I better cut it down to 28 to 3,200 calories. I lost about 20 pounds. I feel unbelievable. I have not done walking lunges in 20 years. I'm doing sets of 20 and 30 after my leg workout as a finisher with no pain in my knees, which is I have not experienced that in
since I've
20
known
years.
you. Since I've known him, he's never not had pain.
I have not done a walking lunge. I haven't been able to even demonstrate a walking lunge. I've had Lisa demonstrate.
Yeah, he's like, can you do this?
I couldn't even do it. And so that's weight.
When you release stuff.
And it's not just about, for me, it was about body weight, because being heavy, being over 240 since 1991 or 92 has had an impact on my body as far as my joints go. And so being at 235 right now, I feel light as a feather. I mean, I'm moving like a cat. It's unreal. I wish I could run because I'd probably be playing in the NFL somewhere. It's unreal. I can't run because of my knee, but I feel great. My knees feel unbelievable. I mean, it's amazing. Anyway.
Yeah. So we all carry around just stuff in different ways, right? For some people it's weight, it's physical weight. For some people it's emotional pain that's causing all these blocks and roadblocks, and they can't break through. I mean, I've got some of that stuff going on, you guys, that I'm working through.
People tend to look for obstacles rather than solutions. And the reason why they do is because, one, it's easier.
Yep.
Two, it doesn't require you to look inside and see what you should be owning. and what you haven't owned, which is why you're in the place you're in. And again, I know that from firsthand experience, not to put the finger on other people. Okay, so my goal is to help other people have breakthroughs. I'm not even near where I should be, but to have breakthroughs and have some kind of an awakening.
Massive awakening,
that I've
you
had
guys.
in the past month has been just phenomenal. I mean, it's been unreal.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B. So where are we going with these lives? We talked about starting up our lives again. In October, we're moving, and not from Arizona, just moving to the next town over, and gonna start up regular lives again, because that's where we feel our best, honestly, when we get to speak about what we're passionate about and have one person hear us, like that, I think lights both of us up so much.
If we could reach one person, then that's a start.
One person.
One person.
And we're not claiming to know it all, you guys. We are on this journey, like
we're a work in
figuring
progress.
it out, face planting, but moving forward. And that's that's life. That's life. Yeah. And the way to success is to fail forward and just keep failing forward. And thanks, Kayla.
Thank you.
And we're just going to continue showing up for you guys and hope that we're reaching you. And you know, if you love what we're sharing and you resonate and you're doing your own work, like, please let us know, comment, interact with us. And
There'll be more.
We'll keep bringing you guys lives. I'm off of Facebook for 6 weeks, so I'll be popping in on his account like this.
She's not supposed to be here right now.
I'm not supposed to be here. But anyway, thank you guys for those of you who tuned in, and for everybody that has supported us and loved us. Our Isogenics family has been like for the last 7 years, the biggest, most amazing community support that has allowed us to do this and just never given up on us. So thank you guys so much, and we love you all, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Peace.